Et on est parti. Hey there, Max here. How's it going? Today, what I want to talk about is the ability to be disagreeable when you meet girls. So recently I worked with a guy who told me, hey Max, I live in a country where if you're not a bad boy, you can't meet girls. If you're a nice guy, girls won't notice you. And if you're a nice guy and you try to say hi to a girl on the street, in the club, you're gonna get into a fight and someone's gonna want to break your legs. So basically this guy was saying, girls don't like nice guys, girls don't like good guys, girls just like assholes, and unless you're a toxic and violent guy, you can't meet girls. So in this video today, I wanna share with you guys why you can very well be a great guy, a nice guy, while still being disagreeable. Why and how to be disagreeable to get girls without being violent, without being a gangster, and how you can very well meet girls by being a very normal person, but with boundaries. I know what it's like to be socially uncalibrated and to feel a little bit awkward. And for example, going to the club and watching other guys grinding on girls, going in a very unapologetic way up to girls to start a conversation with them and to tell them that they like them, sometimes being very sexual right off the bat. And a lot of guys don't understand how that's possible to be an actual normal person and do such things. So it's easy when you see a guy like that go up to girls and succeed to think that bad guys have it easy with girls and nice guys don't. Nice guys finish last. Actually, what you want to understand is that those bad guys, quote unquote, bad guys, they actually show qualities that are very attractive to women, while a guy who's gonna be more quiet, a guy who's gonna be, again, quote unquote, nice, is a guy who won't show the right qualities. And so, of course, if you adopt the qualities of a quote unquote nice guy and you don't show things that are attractive to women, of course, they will go towards a guy who's maybe a little bit more aggressive, maybe a little bit more confident, maybe a little bit more dominant. What you will notice is that usually guys that you might consider assholes, guys that you might consider aggressive or overwhelming, well, very often those guys, they actually show qualities that are super attractive to women. For example, confidence. For example, leadership. For example, the fact that they are assertive. For example, the fact that they don't really care about what others are gonna say. They don't really care to please. For example, the fact that they like to take risks. And most nice guys, they usually don't have those qualities because deep down they feel those qualities are bad qualities to have. And that's the main point there. Those are not bad qualities. Those are qualities that are actually very attractive to women. And so what happens is that nice guys will often consider that those bad guys are mean, that those bad guys are selfish, while actually most of the time not at all. Of course, some are bad. Of course, some are gangsters. But in most cases, you can very well be a nice guy who is assertive, a nice guy who has attractive qualities, a nice guy who is confident and who is able to lead. There is no selfishness in going for what you want. And a lot of nice guys, they will feel that way because of deeply rooted limiting beliefs. But in reality, there is nothing bad about showing qualities that are attractive to women. So if for your whole life you have been conditioned to think that going for what you want is selfish, if for your whole life you have been conditioned to think that being sexual is a sin, if for your whole life you have been conditioned to think that not pleasing people is a bad thing and that it's actually better to be a people pleaser, of course, when you see guys who are successful with women and they have those qualities, you don't understand, you feel bad, and you start to feel that you have to be a bad guy to actually get with girls. But in truth, this is not the case. There just are qualities that are attractive, and you want to make sure to model those qualities, to internalize those qualities. You've been sold a lie by whoever raised you, you've been sold a lie by society, you've been sold a lie by people who you trusted, who had a wrong interpretation of what is actually good to have success with women, or what is actually, well, the most efficient way to go about life. And so you really want to change that if you want to get different results. Instead, what you most likely want to do if you consider yourself too nice is to readjust the way you see life. what is considered right now for you too bold should be considered normal. Like, you want to increase how bold something has to be for it to be actually bold. You want to readjust yourself to life in society when it comes to take risk and when it comes to social dynamics and when it comes to meeting women. I remember I worked with a guy recently who told me I can't go up to a girl and tell her that, for example, if she's reading a book, she should not be reading that book. He told me that disagreeing with a stranger is too bold. He told me that he felt disagreeing with a stranger is not polite. And if that's your case, if you feel that you can't go up to people and disagree with them, if you feel you can't go up to people and tell them that you have a different opinion, well, the way you see life and social dynamics is flawed, and again, you want to readjust it. In the same way, a lot of guys, they have huge trouble actually leading girls, actually leading a group of people. Again, if you feel that you're not allowed to lead people, if you feel that you're not allowed to put your personality forward and to try to make something happen, and I'm not telling you that every time you're gonna lead people, they're gonna follow your lead, but if you feel that you can't, if you feel that you're not allowed, if you feel that you're not good enough or interesting enough or entitled enough or justified enough to even try to lead people, again, the way you see social dynamics is flawed, and again, you want to readjust that. Look at this view. We're gonna go to the park, we're gonna try to meet girls there, and I wanted to add on top of what I just said, I wanted to drop a little bomb for you. Thing is, if you're always looking to avoid confrontation, you're not nice, but you're weak. You can very well disagree with people and still be a nice person. You can very well have boundaries and still be a great person. And it's even better that way. Because what's the best way to advise someone who's stubborn, someone that is dear to you, someone that you love? What's the best way to advise them if they are not doing the right thing? If they are not doing the right thing, you're gonna have to disagree with them for their own sake. And it takes courage to do so. It's sometimes a little bit tough to disagree with people that you like because they won't take it well and they might get mad. But you have to. It's still better to be disagreeable. There are such nice parks in France. Excuse-moi, bonjour. When is the last time you saw a sky that blue? So to recap that first part, there is no such thing as only bad guys get with girls. There just are qualities that are generally more attractive to women and qualities that guys that are quote-unquote bad guys tend to have. That's the first point. The second point is that you want to shift your reality, you want to reframe the way you see the world, and you want to understand that what right now you consider is to be too bold is not actually too bold, but is something that is actually entirely normal. Having qualities such as confidence, being bold, not being afraid to go for what you want, those are qualities that are actually very attractive, and they are not bad qualities to have. To develop those qualities won't make you a bad person. Now I want to talk a little bit more about what happens when you actually start being more disagreeable when you meet girls. What happens when you actually start going for what you want when you meet people, and what happens when you actually stop caring about being rejected for what you are, for what you like, and for what you want. So by being able to go up to people and to show them what you really believe, by being able to disagree with people and by being able to be disagreeable when you meet girls, you're actually able to show them a wider range of your personality. If you're able to show them the you that they don't like, they will feel way more attracted to you because you're confident enough and you believe in yourself enough to disagree. If you're able to show your true self, and if you're able to not always try to please women when you meet them, you're gonna show them that you're not afraid to show this side of your personality, this side of yourself that they might dislike. By doing so, they are going to trust you way more because they see that you're able to show your true self without trying to hide anything, even the things that they may dislike. You're going to be fully honest, and therefore they are going to allow themselves to be fully honest with you and to drop their guards and their defenses a little bit more. And they will, if you want, drop this shield that they might have with other guys, because most guys, let's be honest, they try to please girls, they try to be nice, and they are not really themselves. They are not really showing their true colors. They are not really showing their true personality. If you're able to do it, you will stand out a lot. Another advantage to being a little bit disagreeable when meeting girls is that you won't stand for bullshit. If you're too nice and a girl starts tooling you a little bit, you know, that happens sometimes. Like a girl sees that you are literally wrapped around her finger and she's gonna play with it a little bit. If you're too nice, you're gonna go along with it. But if you're a little bit disagreeable, you won't let her do this. You're gonna call her out on her bullshit. And that in itself, on top of saving yourself some time, on top of making sure that you don't look like a fool, well, it is attractive. Being a little bit disagreeable is going to show the girl that you have standards, that you have boundaries, and that you're ready to enforce them. It's going to show the girl that you are solid. In practice, it means that if a girl is showing you that she's not interested, well, you're not gonna keep chasing her. If a girl is being a little bit mean to you, if a girl is showing that she doesn't want to talk with you, you're gonna be able to break rapport. On the other hand, if you're just too nice, you're not gonna be able to do those things. You're just gonna follow a girl who is leading you in a place that you don't want. And generally, you wanna be the one leading the girl and not the other way around. And so, if you have a girl leading the interaction in a given direction, how are you going to be able to take the lead? If you're afraid to be mean, if you're afraid to go for what you want, if you're afraid to not be nice. And that's one way that some girls will actually test you. They will see if you're assertive. They will see if you're able to lead the interaction. They will basically test you to see if you're able to lead the relationship by trying to take the lead themselves and see how you react to that. The same way, you should not be afraid to let a girl know that, well, you actually like her. There is nothing wrong in showing some sexual intent. There is nothing wrong in going up to a girl and being like, hey, I like your style, I want to say hi. Hey, I think you're cute. Hey, I think that maybe you might be girlfriend material. It's actually required. If you want something flirty to happen, you have to make it flirty. You can't just wait for her to give you permission to flirt with her. You have to go in, try to flirt a bit, and see how she reacts. You have to risk offending her. You have to risk being rejected, and you have to risk, well, appearing not nice. And if you always try to do the right thing, if you always try to be nice, if you always try to be a proper gentleman who's not doing anything outside of what's expected, girls won't just find this attractive. You're going to be transparent, and girls will find this super boring, but definitely not attractive. There is no way a girl is going to be like, oh my God, this guy was so freaking nice. I want to fuck this guy because he was so nice with me. I really, really want to get fucked by a guy who's super nice to me. No, they are not gonna react that way. No girl is gonna say that ever. They're gonna feel, on the other hand, oh wow, this guy is super confident. This guy is bringing me to places. This guy is making shit happen. This guy is interesting. If you're too nice, you just can't do that. Excuse-moi, bonjour. Tu parles français? Ouais, ok. J'aime beaucoup ton style, je voulais te dire bonjour. Comment ça se fait que tu es là toute seule? Tu surveilles le mur?
Non, t'attends quelqu'un.
Ok, t'attends ton rendez-vous Tinder?
Un peu, ouais.
For the same reason, you don't want to be afraid to be physical with girls, because again, you don't want to wait for a girl to give you permission to touch her. There are ways to touch girls properly, for sure. But if you never try to make it physical, there is no way she's gonna ever feel comfortable being touched by you. How do you want to be able to sleep with a girl if you're waiting for her permission to just hug her? If you're waiting for her permission to put your hand on her lap? You have to make moves and you have to take risks. If you're always trying to not be bold, if you're always trying to be nice, you're not gonna be able to do it.
Finally, because I feel I have to add this, being disagreeable doesn't mean being a dick, okay? It doesn't mean that you're gonna be a dick to get back at people who have not been nice to you in the past. Instead, it means that you're going to go for what you want without being apologetic about it. And you're going to be able to enforce your boundaries without being sorry for those who don't respect them. And if they don't like it, that's okay. But you don't have to feel bad for trying. You don't have to feel bad for risking being disagreeable.